Hi, this is Scandro. Scandro is a tool for monitoring any web page and letting you know when it changes. Let's take a look how it works. You can easily create a monitoring with this step-by-step wizard. And for the most common tasks, there are ready-made templates. You can create a simple monitoring by picking this simple track template. First, just paste the page address. The name is filled in automatically, but of course you can change it. Then Scandro shows you the page, and you just need to click the content you want to track. Let's pick this price, for example. In the preview field, you can see that you picked the right element. And if there is a captcha or blocking by IP, no problem. You can just turn on a proxy or captcha solving. Then you choose what you want to do with the data. You can send a simple alert, build a report from a few monitors, or save it to your own API. You can also add a condition, for example, only count it if the price drops below a value you choose. Let's pick an alert for this example. Here you just choose how often to check and where to send it. You can send it to your email, a messenger, or even a webhook. Instead of sending alerts, you can also build reports from one or more monitors. This is useful when you want to follow how a number changes over a period of time. For example, how a price moves each day. You just choose which report to send the data to or create a new one. Give it a name and set how often to save the data. Here is a report from a single monitor, one page's value over time. And there is one from 3 monitors, the same product in 3 different shops, side by side, so you can compare the prices. You can share a report with colleagues even they don't have an account and export it as a CSV file or as a nice PDF report for a presentation. Or you can just save the tracked values to your own API. You just pick an existing API or create a new one, set how often to save the data, and choose which field to save it to. It's handy when you want to fit the data into your own app, dashboard, or bot. If you want more control, there is manual mode. Let's build a simple monitor. As you can see, it's just a visual builder where you connect nodes in a pipeline. First, set the page address, then add an extract element node by dragging and dropping it onto the parent one. You can also add nodes by clicking this button. Then choose the element you want to track. And at the end, add a node that tells Scandro what to do with the data. For example, save it to your API. Then just press the Run button and watch how the first node gets the page code, then passes it to the extract element node, which reads the content from the element you picked, and passes it to the last node, which saves the data to your API. So you can see it's like a pipeline. Each node receives the data from the previous node, processes it, and passes it to the next one until the end. Now the best part. Say you want to watch the same content on another page of the same website. You just click duplicate, change the URL, and save. Everything else, the element, the schedule, where it sends the result, stays the same. You can even upload the whole list as a CSV file, so one setup becomes 100 monitors in seconds. Chains can be as complex as you want. Here is one that takes several values from one page, processes them, and send them to different places under different conditions. You can play with each node on this own, turn it off, run it alone, and see the difference from the previous result. So you can set up the pipeline exactly the way you want. You can also get the data from a paginated listing, a list that spreads across many pages. You point the first page of the listing, then select the next page link, then the list, then one card in the list, and inside the cart, the link to the product. Then you work with the product page as usual, like in the previous example. Just take the data and save it. When you run it, Scandro goes through the pages and opens every cart automatically. And here's the cost again before it runs. Scandro shows you how much this will cost. Every page load is one operation, so you can see that opening each card increases the cost. You decided with full information. No surprises, Bill. Looks complex? Don't worry. This same setup is a template in the wizard, so you can build it just by filling in the steps. There is also a Chrome extension. You can create a monitor right from the page you are on. You pick the element and Scandro loads everything into the wizard for you, even cookies and headers. It's very useful for the websites where you have to log in first. A few more things you get. Team accounts with role and change log, useful for bigger companies where content managers can create and maintain the monitors. Tags to organize and find your monitors. You can build groups and hierarchies of your monitors as complex as you need. Dynamic reports that you can filter by date and other parameters. And this is just the start. We're also adding more templates, short tutorials for different monitoring cases, API monitoring, and a lot more, all based on what you need. So that's Scandro. Track anything on any website with no code and no surprise costs. We launch very soon, so join the list at scandro.app. The first 100 people get free early access and 40% off any plan for life.